Today, let's talk about the P word. Welcome back to the Free Outside Show. I took a couple episodes off the first time in 2 years. I put out like 170 episodes, and I just needed a break. It's been a rocky road this fall. Actually, one of my favorite flavors of ice cream. But I just needed to kind of find myself, disconnect to reconnect, as like some people say. But basically, what I did the last week and a half is probably 4 or 5 times I went out, and without using a watch or really caring how far I went, I just hiked, maybe ran a little on the trail if I felt like it, but just kind of immersed myself back into nature. I didn't have headphones in. I just kind of let time move as it's supposed to. I was just trying to experience things and reconnect with the feeling that I'd had when it felt like I had such purpose. And that is the P word that we're talking about today. So it was just so hard transitioning from the Appalachian Trail, where it felt like the purpose was so defined every day. Like, I need to nail my water stops, stay hydrated, eat all the food that I've allocated for the day, which was usually 8 to 10,000 calories, depending on when in the trip it happened, and then cover a certain amount of miles in that day. And then the bigger purpose, the bigger goal was to do the best I could on this adventure. And then suddenly that was stripped away, and it felt like I had no purpose. And something that I kind of realized about myself and life over the past few days and couple months now, it's been 2 months exactly since I finished the Appalachian Trail FKT, is that we need purpose in life. I think it is so easy to distract ourselves with a phone or streaming services or watching things or being a fan of other things, that it's easy to lose sight of what our purpose is, what our own goals are, what we want to do. I think when we're young, you want to do everything, you want to fix the world. And then as you age, you just suddenly realize that maybe your impact can't quite be what you wished it could be when you were growing up. And it's easy to get dejected and give up that hope and that push and that drive, and then sink into a number of mental health disorders or afflictions that feel like you just don't have a purpose or don't fit in or can't really connect or something like that. And I think that's a big problem. And I just needed to refine some purpose. And the purpose really is, I think, to lead by example or even just solo on my own, and getting out there where time moves at what feels like the correct pace, where there's not the distractions of the news, there's not the issues on what's going on politically, the upheaval, the protests, uh, the charges floating around with everything, how people seem to attack each other online. In the past week, I didn't completely take it off. I posted a best of episode that you can check out with just some of my favorite clips of the past week. And then I also posted a few excerpts, I guess, like 3 to 5 minute long clips. And I put up a couple short form things too that I just had floating around and felt like a good time to put that out there. But one of the comments on it was like, you must be off your meds or something. And it's just like, man, it is so easy to tear down somebody from what maybe they feel like is their purpose, or when they're riding the knife's edge or something, to make comments like this that just push people over the edge. And I think it's maybe something we should all be a little bit more aware of, that in today's day and age, it is so easy to be mean, that maybe we should just make more of a choice and an effort to be nicer, especially when we don't understand everything that's going on with every person out there, when we don't know what someone's life dream is or what they're doing. Maybe their purpose is raising kids or volunteering, or they want to run a marathon or something. I think there should be more of this uplifting, pushing people forward rather than detracting from what they're doing, because it is hard enough in a busy, distraction-filled world where we're all pushed to conform and march down the the stairway of life, just helping other people get richer without really looking out for ourselves and our own well-being, that I don't know, maybe we should in some of these communities that are popping up, whether it's run clubs or the ultra running community, maybe there should just be a little more help and compassion there. All right, that was the opening monologue. Let's get into the rest of the show. So Montana State, I went to my first Montana State game last week, football game. They won against UC Davis, but the real story here is they're playing Montana. So I think it's called the Brawl is what they call the rivalry. And it's so Montana State versus Montana. It's in Missoula, so at Montana, but of the entire nation, including Texas, Alabama, all the big Georgia, the football schools that you've heard of, the most expensive tickets in the whole country are here in Montana to go see this game. Probably because the stadium's like 20,000 people, but I just thought that was crazy on like how passionate people are about the things they care about, and something they care about here is football. Into the Trail TMZ segment. Let's go. Okay, the craziest story happened. A few things that I want to hit on while I was taking my much needed sabbatical, a sabbatical of approximately 1 week. Oh well, I should have taken more time off. I should have like gone to the moon or gone to Tahiti or the Bahamas or something like that. But instead I stayed in Montana. It's been unseasonably warm. But while I was away and didn't get to comment on things, Michelino Censeri, who was charged for cutting a switchback when going for the Grand Teton FKT. He got the FKT, but by cutting the switchback, he actually used an old trail that was decommissioned, so it was not a trail, it had a sign. So he broke the rule, which invalidates his FKT. And it was a legal battle for like 2 years, and it was pretty shady on like the Justice Department and like Teton County battling on whether they should drop the case or not. And this is all over like a cut switchback, and it was like floated out there, and the misdemeanor that he was charged with was up to a year in jail and a pretty large fine. And it was moving that direction, like trials and things. But then all of a sudden, Donald Trump pardoned him. So a trail runner, Donald Trump is in the world of trail running now. He pardoned Michelino Censeri, and now he is off scot-free. He doesn't get the FKT, as far as I know. We'll have to check in with Allison Mercer on this, our FKT correspondent. But I just think it is so crazy that think of all the things going on in the world, and the leader of the free world, Donald Trump, makes the decision that this is a case he needs to intervene in and pardon Michelino. So just crazy story. But the real topic here, and I'd love for you to let me know what you think, is if you get pardoned by someone, let's say they don't align with you politically. Everything about them is different than you, but they pardon you and like really make an impact on your life by a pardon like this. Do you have to vote for them forever? Like say Trump was able to run again for president for his third term. Would you just feel like a moral obligation to vote for him just because he had such an impact on your life? It's kind of a crazy thing when you think about all the issues, all the things, all the morals that we have and how they impact who we vote for politically and things like that. But if someone changes your life or really gives you a favor like this, are you indebted to them forever? I don't really know, but I could definitely be convinced, and it's pretty crazy. All right, our next Trail TMZ story. Who is it? It's Shailene. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get this wrong, but they're making a movie about Badwater 135. How crazy is that? So not only has trail running hit the mainstream with Donald Trump pardoning a trail runner, but we are also witnessing a mainstream movie coming out. I think it's Shailene Woodley. You're going to have to correct me on this. I don't watch movies, and the movies I do watch, I watch over and over again because I don't like the unknown of the big screen. I usually just watch Prison Break, TV series over and over again, and then uh, Almost Famous, the movie. But there's a Badwater 135 coming out, and so that is pretty crazy as well. I mean, trail running is so hot right now, or ultra running, I guess. Badwater 135 is on a road, so trail running, not really. You can see trails from it. All right, now on to what was I gonna? I wrote some notes for this, but I put down this one note that says all the mice out there, and I don't know what that means. So that was another topic that I guess we're hitting on. But one thing that I wanted to bring up is using the outdoors as a band-aid. So I still go to therapy because mental health matters. But one thing that we talked about recently and what kind of aided me in getting out there and pushing forward and stuff is maybe all these things involving brands and contracts and stuff. Maybe they're not going to be what I hoped for, what some people said it would probably be like, or probably not going to make millions of dollars, still going to be a renter at the end of this season. I don't think one adventure is ever going to quite change my life. I feel like I've done these for reasons that sometimes impede the ability to make a bunch of money on them, and being open and honest about things, I don't think always aids in great partnerships, but the outdoors has always been that space where I feel like I can collect my thoughts. And usually I interpersonally, it's like I have all these things in my head. It's sort of like I know what I want to say. I know how I want to talk to someone. I know what I want to bring up. But then when I am ready to, or the time is right to talk about something or speak up or say something or voice a need, there's just this major block in my brain. Like I can't get it from my brain to my mouth to saying it. And the outdoors has been that place where it doesn't feel like it's so encumbered. Even when people are around, it just feels like it's this environment that is way more inviting and relaxing for me. And I know that it is different for everybody, and maybe your environment is somewhere different, or maybe you don't have an issue like this. I sure know that I seem to test pretty highly with being on the spectrum, and I think that is my major affliction, is this ability to communicate with others, which is a big reason I wanted to start a podcast to say some of these things. I didn't know if anyone would follow, but it's been amazing to connect with the people that do. But what it was I was pretty low a couple weeks ago. I put out an episode about that, how I was struggling. I put out a Substack as well. You can follow both of those, or follow on YouTube as well. But I put it out about how things were pretty difficult. And then it was just in therapy, we kind of talked about that, and it was like, okay, well, I don't need to fix this immediately, but what can we do that's like a stepping stone? Or what can we use that's like a band-aid on this situation that doesn't feel so low, where it's just like wasting away on a couch or buried in a Talenti jar eating more ice cream? What can I do that gives me a sense of purpose and freedom and excitement and empowers me to, I don't know, have a little bit of self-esteem, which I seem to have lost in some of these more business-centered conversations over the past couple months, where it sort of feels like, yeah, we're really interested in you. Let's send you some shoes. And then you do like a couple meetings and they're like, yeah, actually, we don't really have any money to sign you. And so that's basically been my experience over and over again, which is incredibly frustrating. And it feels like the team has been whittled down to it's just me. But it's always just been me. I've gotten to this point very self-reliant because I really struggle to voice needs and concerns and ask for help. And so it was just like, well, what if I take that, I'm alone, and take that into the environment I feel most clear-headed, present, and enjoy time, and just moving through it. It's not like I'm just waiting for the day to end when I'm trying to make myself be productive at home. So I just started carving out this time. So like an hour a day, it would be time for me. And this could be going on a walk. Sometimes I was able to drive out to near Big Sky where there was no cell service, beautiful trail, no people around. And I brought plenty of goldfish, a snack I enjoy, the snack that smiles back, because more smiles in your life, you're going to be a lot happier. I guarantee it. And so I just, I did that, and it just made me realize that no matter what is tied to anything, if I get to make more of my income from being a professional athlete, or if I don't, I still love this thing. If my run is on Strava or my hike is on Strava and people can like and give it kudos, that's fine. But also, I didn't put these on Strava. I didn't voice that I'd done them until now. Now I'm bragging, humble brags. But it still meant the same to me. And I think I just had to reconnect with that it's okay that it can mean a lot to me. I don't need it validated by other people through monetary offers from brands or from kudos on Strava. If that stuff comes, awesome. But I just need to reconnect with the measure of success isn't hitting any of these metrics. It never was. It never is going to be. It's all my purpose of improving, feeling like I can connect with my own feelings and enjoy life in a way where I feel like I have freedom to have that safety, that I can explore different parts of myself. And the outdoors is my biggest entryway into doing that. And I mean, I hope to feel more comfortable and be able to be interconnected and communicate with others in this way and, grow and stuff. But it was just like, I just need to go back to where I feel that safety. So nothing else is hanging over my head. And that's kind of what I did. That's been the strategy. All right, one last thing I want to hit on. But first, Janji, JANJI.com. I love their stuff. So all of my sponsors I've worked with for 5 or 6 years. Janji, I first heard about, I believe, in 2020 or 2019, actually, I think. And then CS Coffee was 2020. Garage Grown Gear was 2020. So these are nearly 6-year relationships. These are all the sponsors of the show. And I stand behind them. It's not like we're not going to call out people, but some podcasts seem like they're just jumping between products left and right, jumping between sponsors. We've got a new sponsor coming on board that I've worked with for about a decade too. So, yeah, I support all these. I really love the Vortex gloves from Janji. It's a glove, just like a normal glove, but it's got this windshield that rolls up and it forms kind of the brace like around the wrist. So it looks like a normal glove, but you can unroll this thing and pull it over the top and it's a windshield. So your hands will stay even warmer. It's like a convertible glove. It's like a zip off glove, but without a zipper. So check that out. All right. The last story I want to hit on is something amazing happened right before I took a break. There were 3 records that went down at Tunnel Hill, all by the women, and women are simply amazing. So I just wanted to acknowledge that real quick. I think I put a clip up with Allison Mercer on YouTube. You can check that out. But I just wanted to acknowledge that women are really crushing the sport right now. I think sometimes lose sight of the competition on the women's side. And I just wanted to highlight that the 100-mile record went down, the 100K record went down, and the 50-mile record went down. So that is pretty incredible. So check that out if you want. Tomorrow is JFK, I believe. I believe I got the date right. We talked to David Sinclair, the winner of that last year. And it's a cool race because it's like 13 or something miles on the Appalachian Trail, and then you're basically on rolling roads after that. So it's a very fast 50-mile race, like the oldest in the country, really competitive fields. But if you're looking for one last gasp of trail-ish ultra running content for the year in, check that out. And we also there's one more thing going on. Let me tell you, we have the NCAA something. NCAA. Oh my gosh. Sorry about this, guys. I think it's cross country or something going on this weekend. I don't know. I'm just getting into this cross country thing. Anyways, thanks for listening. You can support the show on Patreon. 5-star reviews are awesome on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you listen. Share it with a friend. You can do that if you like it. And I don't know what the future of this thing will be, but it's probably going to be bright or up and down. But I'm going to bring you along on the journey. I've been running, been pretty motivated by just, that's what I do. I like being outside and doing things on trails. So no matter if life is messy or stressful, I don't have to give that up. Even if I'm, a little clunky after the AT, that's okay. I can go hike. There's no pressure. There's no rules. We're adults. It's 2025. Just do the things that make you feel happy, and then do the rest of the things that support those things that help you feel happy. So with that, I really appreciate you guys. Sorry for the break, but you know what? It's okay to take a break. It's okay to say you're not doing good. We can normalize it. All right, stay elite, my friends.